when you start focusing on the technology, what is the technology of Bitcoin? It's peer-to-peer decentralized money. It's that I can own $1 billion worth of an asset in my brain. That's the technology. And when I have that fiat liquidity and I add the technology to it, then what I call, I get double happiness. I get the biggest bull market that we've ever seen. Because the global bond market is however many umpteen trillions. If those investors start questioning the premise that bonds are volatility reducing on a portfolio level, and that governments can do what it takes to maintain the bond market's purchasing power in energy terms, then holy fuck, like the sky is the limit on where Bitcoin, tech stocks, any of these farmland, Patek Philippe watches, whatever it is that you want to view, it's just going to all go nuts because there's so much money in bonds. If people lose faith in the bond market and this fiat artificial construction that we've created over the last 80 to 100 years, this global economy and how it's been structured, if we lose confidence in that, then the amount of money that's going to be looking for an alternative is going to be something that we've never seen before.
The biggest bull market we have ever seen is coming to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and crypto. That's the prediction out from crypto expert Arthur Hayes. Why? He believes the US government and central bank have quite literally printed themselves into a corner. They have printed so much money and created so much debt, they now need to continue to print money just to service the interest on that debt. A death spiral. Extrapolating this out, fiat money is going to go down against crypto forever. That's why Arthur believes Bitcoin will hit a new all-time high by the end of 2024. What's more, he thinks Bitcoin will continue to march upwards to $750,000 to $1 million by 2026. If you don't know who Arthur is, he's a crypto veteran who founded BitMex, a crypto exchange, has made over $1 billion in crypto markets, and he has over 10 years experience in both crypto and financial markets. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video where Arthur gives his prediction on just how the cycle is going to play out. Also guys, if you want to stay most up to date on the crypto and Bitcoin world, make sure to subscribe to my daily 5-minute crypto newsletter. It gives the latest expert predictions, any breaking news, and top on-chain analysis all in a nutshell. Click the first link in the description to join a community of over 20,000 others in becoming better crypto investors right now. Now here's Arthur Hayes with his cycle prediction.
So for the first time in human history, we the people have a way out of this situation. We have a source of money that's divorced from the government, that's weightless. So obviously there's gold. Gold's been around for 10,000 years as a monetary instrument. The problem with gold is it weighs a lot and it's very conspicuous, right? Try hauling around $1 million worth of gold, someone's going to see that you got that gold, and that's a problem. Versus Bitcoin, I can remember my private key in my head. No one knows how much Bitcoin I have. And no one can prove how much Bitcoin I have. Only I can demonstratively sign a message to say, yes, I control this address that has this amount of Bitcoin at this particular point in time. This is revolutionary because now we, the people, have a way to save outside of the fiat system and in a way that's non-observable. And so we can say, okay, right. Anyone who recognizes this intractable position that all the governments around the world are in, great, I'm not going to participate in this anymore. I'm not going to keep my money in a bank or just play around in the fiat stock market. I'm going to sell my fiat and purchase a hard monetary asset. And I'm going to keep it myself and exit into this crypto ecosystem, right? And now there's money coming out of the system leaking into another store of value because we now have a way out. And so if the denominator of amount of fiat in the situation, the numerator is getting this massive number of all this fiat, and the denominator of Bitcoin stays the same, Ethereum is deflationary and some of the other major tokens or coins, right? It's fixed supply, some of them. Then the price has to go up in fiat terms. Now, does it go up in energy terms? That's another question. But at least in fiat terms, these things mathematically should go up because there's just so much fiat in the world because all this debt has to be printed. No, all this money has to be printed to service this debt. So I think we're at this fortunate situation that we actually have a way out, because if we didn't, then the money's just stuck in the banking system. And essentially what happens is all of a sudden you have a banking holiday and they say, well, you can no longer move your money outside the banking system and you can only buy government bonds. They yield whatever they yield. tough shit. Well, now we have crypto. We can get out of this situation as ordinary citizens of the world. And so we have all of these promises made, whether it's military or to the old, that are coming due all right now. And the politicians are unwilling to say, you know what? We made those promises back in the day. Things have changed. Therefore, what you thought you were going to get, that's going to be different now and much less, right? We don't have that conversation anywhere in the world. It's, I'm going to be able to make good on the promises made to you, whether that's militarily, whether that's healthcare, whether that's the banking system. And so Bitcoin and gold are starting to say, well, okay, well, these guys aren't serious. We're going to have to make them serious. Either it's, we're not going to own these bonds anymore. Right? So if I am a large bondholder at the margin and I'm hearing the leader of America, the largest, of the American empire say, we can afford all these different wars in all these peripheral locations, and we're not going to fight inflation, like Powell's on pause. Fuck it. I'm not owning this stuff. I want something that actually is going to preserve value. If this is really, truly a wartime, global wartime economy, then I want gold. Now we have this new thing called Bitcoin. I want that too. And we've seen it. I posted a chart, I think yesterday. It was TLT, which is the long-term US Treasury bond ETF versus Bitcoin. I had one date starting in, I think, February 24th of 2022 when Russia invaded Ukraine. Bitcoin's up something like 50% from that date. Treasuries are, the TLT's down something like 17%. And then from October 7th till the present, Bitcoin's up something like, I don't know, 24, 25%, whatever it is. Treasuries are down 3%, right? So the standard playbook of shit's going bad, must invest in America because it's the strongest and best in the best financial position, that is breaking down. Now it's, we have these other things. We have this Bitcoin thing. It's a global thing. Everybody can participate. It's not tied to a particular government. It's weightless. It's unobservable. I don't want that. I want to protect my capital. Let me have some of that. I don't want any of this US Treasury bond nonsense when, US government's going to get themselves into wars all over the world and still make good on the promises to the old people. That's just not sustainable. So we're seeing this narrative starting to shift. We're seeing the correlations start to change. The stock bond correlation has changed. Bonds are no longer this thing that can reduce the overall volatility of a portfolio, which tells you at some point, all these Muppets running these 60-40 portfolios are going to wake up and realize, holy fuck, I own this 40% in bonds. It has not performed. Fucking the US 30-year Treasury is down 50% over the last 3 years. Yet these Muppets are still buying this stuff, right? It's absolutely hilarious. But at some point, their clients are going to stop, giving these idiots money and say, well, wait a minute. You said bonds are supposed to be this sort of anti-fragile asset that's going to protect my portfolio. Why you keep buying these things that are just getting crushed again and again and again as the situation has changed? And that is propelling money at the margin now. And it's just starting, right? Bitcoin's only at 35,000, right? It's still, only half its way to the 70,000 peak. Gold's only at 2,000. It still hasn't taken out some of the highs, and maybe it's close to the highs in 2011. But it's not doing amazing, but it's doing better than owning bonds. And so as people start to realize this and finally get it through their heads that it's changed, the relationships have changed. I need something that's in fixed supply. I need something that is not someone else's liability. Then this movement in Bitcoin and gold and Ethereum and all these other assets, it's just going to collect steam because the global bond market is humongous. If the zeitgeist changes that this is not the best place to put my investors' capital, I need to find something else. It's going to go into, my opinion, AI tech stocks and crypto. So there's always going to be the new thing. So if you're, last cycle, it was all these L1 blockchains that were going to be faster than Ethereum and they cater to some particular ecosystem, right? The Solanas, the Aptoses, and all that dog shit, right? And so most of those, you get one shot, right? They had the one massive pump in 2021, and now everyone's like, well, you actually didn't really do very much, and so you're not going to pump again to your all-time high. So I do believe in that sequence of Bitcoin first, then ETH, then everything else. Now, obviously, at Maelstrom, we play along all the cycles, right? We want to invest in quality infrastructure, and we want to invest in dog shit meme coins. Like, we're trying to make money here. right? And so like, if you want to think about what's going to happen at the end of the risk sector, it's got to be something new. Whatever it is, the new narrative. I've put out there this AI crypto narrative, and I have a stake in Filecoin and a mining company and other things like that. It could be some particular type of Web3 gaming. It could be some particular type of way that we do social graphs on Web3. I don't know, but we'll see the zeitgeist change of what people are actually focusing on, and new projects that are unproven will, at the end of the cycle, say, oh my God, there's so many people in crypto. Look at all the wallets created. We're going to have all these clients. They're going to do all this stuff. And it was, yeah, right, this is really great. Let's go. And these tokens are going to pump. And again, they'll get crushed just like everything else, because consumer adoption is hard. Getting people to change ingrained behaviors is hard. And so, yes, I think it's going to play out much the same as the last cycle. It's just that the types of things that we believe are going to be the next game changers is just going to change. There will always be cycles. The length in time, I have no idea. I think a lot of that has Bitcoin and crypto as a reaction to what's going on in the TradFi fiat world. Now, obviously, governments usually refinance themselves every 3 to 5 years. So you kind of have a 3 to 5 year credit cycle. Are we going to somehow have some massive event which completely changes our belief in how economics and government finances should be done? Like Keynes after World War II. If there's a World War III, is there going to be some economists that we all say, oh no, this is the way we need to organize the world economy, wherever that situation is. And then the imbalances that build up in that system are going to lead to some sort of multi-year cycle in some way, shape, or form. I don't know, but there will be a cycle. The length, I think, trying to fix it'll always be this many years is just a recipe to get wrecked, because the market's going to do exactly the opposite.
So there's Arthur Hayes, a titan in the crypto world and the founder of BitMex, with why he sees unprecedented potential in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the broader crypto market. Arthur's prediction of the biggest bull market ever, driven by macroeconomic conditions shaped by government and central bank policies, offers a bold and visionary perspective on the future of cryptocurrencies. He envisions a future where Bitcoin could not only reach new all-time highs by the end of 2024, but also potentially soar to between $750,000 to $1 million by 2026. This is more than just a forecast. It's a profound statement on the enduring value proposition of cryptocurrencies against traditional fiat money. Before we wrap up, a final reminder for those keen on staying updated in the dynamic crypto universe. Subscribe to my daily 5-minute crypto newsletter. It's your gateway to the latest expert predictions, breaking news, and top on-chain analysis. Anyway guys, hope you all enjoyed today's video and I provided you with some value. I'll see you all in the next one, and as always, all the best.